Here we are in passage 1, and we're going to look first here at the blurb and see if we can learn anything about what we're typically looking for with these fiction passages, the characters, the relationship, the conflict, the motive, something in there. So go ahead and read the blurb just to yourself, pause the video, and then let's discuss what we learned. Okay, yeah, not much here. We've got the title, not particularly interesting, but we haven't learned anything about our characters. Nothing much there. Let's do the same thing with paragraph 1. And once again, pause the video and we'll discuss it when you're back. Okay, we've got something here. So we've got Limey, our character. He's reading a history book. They describe that history book in a good amount of detail here with some of the pages. We know that he's at a restaurant. Maybe that's meaningful. As far as we know right now, he's eating alone. But other than that, we've got some details here. None of these are particularly important, probably. So let's just go on to paragraph 2. Once again, pause the video here if you want to read through it on your own, and unpause it when you want to hear our explanation. The only thing I really got out of paragraph 2 here is that Limey is really into this book. He's very absorbed in all the inner workings of whatever's going on here, which is clearly something about Europe powers and wars, perhaps. There seems to be quite a lot going on, but nothing really about his character other than the fact that he's absorbed. We don't have anybody else of meaningfulness here. We've got Irma, the waitress, but I don't think that's super important. Let's just go on to paragraph 3 here. Maybe we're going to run into some interesting stuff eventually. So let's pause the video here and see what we learn when you come back. Okay, yeah, now we've got something. So we've got this party of 4, this group that enters the restaurant, and they matter a lot because of how they make Limey feel. They're being very loud. They're being very distracting. And they're causing Limey to skim whole pages of his book, the absolute travesty. So, because they go to lengths to explain how they're making Limey feel here, that's how we know they matter a bit more. But what matters the most here is at the end, of the passage, or rather the paragraph, we've got something really interesting here where Limey's father walks in, hangs up his coat, and Limey says to him, "I didn't think you were coming." That tells us a lot about the relationship, right? Limey's here eating at a restaurant, reading his book by himself. His father shows up and Limey says, "I didn't think you were coming." We know they're not probably on the best of terms here. And I imagine this is going to be part of our central conflict. Let's go ahead and read the next paragraph and see if it illuminates anything more about what's going on with this passage. So go ahead, once more, pause the video, read it on your own, and when you come back, let's discuss it. Okay, this paragraph really just has a bunch of physical descriptions of his father, right? He appears to be getting older, and not necessarily in a great way. His color was poor, and his hair is turning gray. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he's losing weight. He no longer filled out the clothes he used to. All of this is of note here. Maybe it has something to do with the relationship. Maybe we're going to learn more about that coming up next. Let's keep this in mind when we read the final paragraph here. So again, pause the video, and when you come back, let's talk. So in the previous paragraph, we talked about how Limey's father was getting older, and now we mention how he, the father, is not aware that he's getting older. He's not acting old, right? He's gesturing towards the women at the other table. He's flashing his diamond rings. And they tell us at the end here that the young man inside him had never deserted Mr. Peters. And he was doing things that are not becoming of a man of 45. So he's not acting his age. Perhaps that's part of the conflict. We really couldn't say anything more than that, but it has to matter in some way. And we're certain to see a question about it.